Good morning, everyone. I'm Niels. I'm the partner manager of Team Leader. I'm here replacing our CEO, Jeroen De Wit, because he felt sick like last week. Apparently, he hoped to be here, but he's, unfortunately still sick. But I will give you our presentation about scalable sales organizations and which is thanks to smarter lead management, or as we believe, lead management is something really important in a scalable organization. My presentation exists of like three big parts. First part is about how we grew in the last 3-4 years, so our journey, how we get to that scalable model, because apparently we prefer to say we scale up and not a startup anymore, so we passed a bit the phase of startup and we're more and more in the scale up phase. So that's the first part of my presentation. Second part is a bit more on SaaS business, so how we work, and it also will give you more insight how our organization is structured and why we are doing things how we're doing them. And the last part, the most important one, is how to do that smart lead management and how this can help you to make a scalable organization. But first, a little word on what we're doing. So we have a SaaS tool, so a software as a service tool. We combine three things. We have CRM and sales in our tool. We have invoicing, and we have project planning. So we combine those three things. We have a lot of competition on the different modules, but not on the complete package. So we do it in a very smart way. We combine these three things. And next to this, we have a lot of external applications which we can connect to our tool. So there are integrations with Google Apps, with Office 365, Dropbox, MailChimp, and so on. So we have one integrated tool connected to your current tools which you're already using today. But I will not talk too much about Team Leader, but this gives like a little bit of insight on what we do. But mainly we have a SaaS tool which we're selling to SMBs. So our customers are like between 2 and 50 users. And most of them are still in Flanders, but we're expanding international. But I will give you some more insight on that. During our growth phase, how did we get there? How did we grow? It all started like 3-4 years ago with Matthias, Jeroen, and Willem. Those are the three founders of Team Leader. Matthias and Willem are two civil engineers, IT, and Jeroen is the marketing guy, the guy who also built a company around it. So two important things, developers, but also focus on marketing and sales, which is of course really important. And how did it come? They started during their studies. They had a small company building websites for SMBs, and they get more and more the question, like, I'm looking for a CRM tool with invoicing and project management connected to my current tools, and I cannot find anything. And they actually were looking as well, because they were growing. They had already 2 employees, and they were building websites for their customers. But actually, they were also looking for that tool, and they thought, yeah, maybe we should just build it ourselves. We have some people who are interested. Just let's do it. And they started building Team Leader. It started as a small project, but bit after bit, it grew. In 2 years' time, they started with the 3 guys. After 2 years' time, there were 7 guys, and apparently they had 200 customers for their product Team Leader. So there was something happening. They had 200 customers, and they said, there should be more in this. We have good products. Maybe we should really, really go for it. And they quit building the websites, and they went for the product, and they want to scale it. So this was the initial phase, the bootstrapping phase. They didn't have any investment money at all, and they did everything themselves, and they came to a point where their product was really, really good, and they knew there is much more market, but we have to be able to enter it. And then there happened something important in the company. Duco Singer from Fortuno entered the company. He invested it at that time, it's like 2 years ago, €1 million in Team Leader. And that was like, in order to scale the product, in order to have more customers for that product, in order to have more employees and to build even a better product. So then also there was a time that I entered the company as well, and at that time the company from 7 people grew to 25 in like 4 weeks or something. So it grew like crazy. We started structuring the company, so focus on development, focusing on sales, focusing on the customer success. So the company gets structured, and we really went for it. So extra force on development, extra force on sales, and extra force on the customer success, which is also really important. And you will see that in my presentation also. The customer success is really important in order to retain those customers. You can sell as much as you can, but if you cannot retain your customers, it's worthless. And it even goes into red, you will see that. But so what did we do? Yeah, so we grew to 25 people, and in 1 year time, we grew from those 200 customers to about 1,000 customers in 1 year time. So that's about 3 customers a day. So we scaled pretty nicely. What happened then? This is like 4 months ago. We got a new investment of Fortuno, of the same investor, of 2.5 million. And for what is this money? This money is in order to scale international. So we were able to scale in Flanders, but now the next step is to scale internationally. This is a picture taken from our Dutch office, which opened like a few weeks before even the investment. And there are today like 6 people working for us, and we have about 200 customers in the Netherlands in a few months' time. So Netherlands is up and running, and what was next? This is like 1 month ago. We started in Berlin. There are 3 people working for us at the moment. We have a few customers, about 10, but we're getting some traction, and we really believe in that market also, because there are a lot of SMBs, which is our target group, and also a lot of startups, because startups apparently like our tool as well. So that's a bit the story of Team Leader. It started with 3 founders. Today we're 42 people. We have about 1,500 customers. About 10,000 people are using our tool every day, and they seem to be happy with it. But what is behind the story? That might be interesting for you, and how we get from that startup to the scale up, and even this international scale up. But first, I will give you a little bit more insight in our business, and then I will go further in that. This is also a really important slide. I already touched it a little bit, but this maybe gives you like a more visual overview of what I meant. Like on SurfCash in the first phase, so the first 2 years of the company, we were looking for a product market fit. So the first 2 years was building the product, getting some customers, receiving that feedback, and make your product even better, and do it all bootstrapping, or we at least did it all bootstrapping, because at that moment you cannot scale that fast, because your product is not that good yet, and you have to structure everything better. But then, once you have your product, you can look for a repeatable and scalable sales model, which is really important in order to grow and to make your company successful, because there are many other companies which are in the same business and who are doing or who are trying to do the same. But if you can scale, and you can scale rapidly, you can stay ahead of them. And then scale, that's actually the phase where we're in today. We want to scale because we know how to do, and we're doing the same thing which we're doing in Belgium, now in Netherlands and Germany, of course, with adaptations to the local market, but the main structure of the company and the main idea is the same, but I will show you how we work up on today. But first a little bit insight in the business. So we are in a SaaS business, software as a service. So we have a software tool which you can have for a monthly subscription. We have contracts of 3 months, so you're not bounded to anything. So we really have to have good software, because otherwise people just leave, of course. But so there are 3 main things in those businesses. first acquiring, the sales part. You have to sell, otherwise you cannot build a company. But what I also said, like customer success is really important. You have to retain your customers, because if they're not happy, they just leave, and you run out of money, because acquiring a customer is really costly. It's really expensive, and you will see in some further slides. Monetizing, so yeah, of course, you have those monthly subscriptions, but we are modularly, so you can have more modules, you can have more users. So what we see, people start with a small license, but they grew over time. And what we also say, we grow with your business. So if you're only 2 people, you pay like about 50 euro. If you're 10, maybe you pay about 150 a month or something, but we grow with you. So a little bit more on the SaaS business. Cost of acquisition, CAC, is like the cost of acquisition. So the sum of all marketing and sales costs divided by the new added customers. So this is the cost which you have to pay in order to have one extra customer. So first of all, you have the marketing costs. So you have to pay in order to get those leads to your website and have leads for your salespeople in order to work on. And then you have those sales guys, which you have to pay, of course, as well. And they cost a lot of money. And what we try to do in our model is to keep this sales cost as low as possible, but I will go further on that. So first, cost of acquisition, really important to keep it as low as possible. And second, long-term value of your customers. 2 things are really important in this, is the ARPA. So how much is one customer paying to you? For us, it's like about 100 euro a month for an average customer. And customer churn rate, how much people are leaving your company, which is really important. And this is one, so those 3 things are the really most important things on which we report within the company. We report it every Friday with the complete company. We look how much churn do we have, how much is the ARPA today, how much new customers do we have, what is the cost of marketing, what is the cost of sales. So those are measures. Everyone in the company, we're 42, even people who do whatever job in the company, they all know these figures, because the complete company has to think about this and have to keep this cost of acquisition as low as possible. So as well, marketing as sales can do a lot on this, and the long-term value should be as high as possible. So the churn rates should be as low as possible. Customer success is mostly working on that, and development, making more modules so we can raise the ARPA or make extra modules even better, and so people buy them. So when are you scalable? It's a good question. This is something we take as a measure, a basic one, is like the long-term value of your customer should be bigger than 3 times of your cost of acquisition. So what does it mean? So for us, one customer, like we need about 10 months in order to have our marketing and sales costs back. So what does it mean? Like one new customer cost us like about 800 euros. So after 10 months, we get that money back, and we can start earning some money, and we can start paying the people from development, from customer success, and so on. So, so your months to recover should be less than 12 months. That's something we take in account. For us, it's about 10 months, and we try to keep it that low. And the long-term value should be bigger than 3 times your cost of acquisition. So people should at least stay for 3 years. For us, we're about, like, on average, we cannot say it because we are too young yet, but if we extrapolate it, we are about 8-9 years. That's something we expect. So yeah, our churn rate is a little less than 10%. So that's about 7-8 years if you look on those numbers. But you can also see it, it's a really nice one. This really shows how the SaaS business is working. So you have to lower the cost of acquisition as much as possible. You can do it on many different things, but further in the presentation we will go deeper into the lead management and how to make the cost of acquisition low because of good lead management. But there are other factors you can use. You can use viral effects. So if you're in the news, we were like in Ter Zake with the opening of the office. So people start talking about you, people starting demos, and actually didn't pay any marketing cost for that. So viral effects are really cheap and can have a nice boost to your company. Inbound marketing, that's how our company mainly is structured. You will see it further in the presentation. So we mainly an inbound company, so many people make a demo on that website, on our website, and then we try to convert them to real paying customers. So we're mainly inbound, but there are other ways to do it as well. Free trials, that's what we do. So people can use the tool for 14 days for free, so they can have a look around. And so we don't have to sell that actively because people are just doing themselves. Touchless conversions, we have them more and more. We have now about 15-20% on touchless conversion. What does it mean? Any salesperson never spoke to those people. They just buy the tool from the website, which is of course the holy grail. In the beginning, it's anyone who does it. Now we try, or we have about 10-15% people of just buying the tool without any salesperson, which has to go there. And of course, that salesperson does cost a lot of money. And if you can skip that one, it saves you a lot of money. Inside sales, that's something we didn't do before. Before we got the leads from marketing and immediately the sales went to that company and went selling. It was really successful. It's a really good way to do it, especially in the beginning, because then you get a lot of feedback as well. But actually, that's really expensive because you can only go to 4 customers a day. And if you have a hit rate of like, well, this is like 70% is quite a lot, but you can do on maximum 3 customers a day, not more. But inside sales, and that's how we do it more and more, is they can do 10 virtual meetings a day, so they can be much more effective, and they don't need a car, they don't need a phone, so they're also even less costly than the sales guy. Channels, strategic partnerships, that's where I'm working on in the company. So I have like 2 things I had to do. So indirect sales, we work with resellers mostly, or we prefer to have value-added resellers, people who build on our tool or give consulting about it. Another thing is strategic partnerships. We have a lot of bookkeeping software connected to our tool, and they also promote our tool because it works smoothly with their tool. So that's also a cheap way in order to grow the business in a scalable way. What is which is not cost effective is field sales. As I said, those guys are the most expensive ones in the company, and they cannot be really scalable, or they are not really scalable because you need more and more and more of those people in order to grow. Outbound marketing or outbound sales, we had some experience with that. It seems to be too expensive for us because our subscriptions are not too big. If your subscriptions are bigger, probably this also works. A lot of companies are doing it, but we actually quit with doing it because it was not cost effective enough. And on the other side, we have the long-term value of the customer. So this should be as high as possible. So what is bad for this long-term value? High churn rates. If your people leaving after a few months, it will have cost you a lot of money in order to retain this customer, and then he's gone. Low customer satisfaction. If people don't like your tool, they just leave, of course. And scalable pricing. So we start like with 25 euro, 50 euro, and we grow with our company, so we can raise the long-term value of the company. Cross-sell, upsell, and product line expansion. Up until today, we don't do that much, but maybe in the future we will have more products in our portfolio, because up until today we focus on team leader. So that's a bit what is really important in a SaaS business, and then you will see further in my presentation how we do this in reality, or how do we do it in everyday business. P&L of a SaaS business. So as I told, the cost of acquisition is really high, and you need some months in order to get this money back. So if people don't stay for enough time, you even burn money on getting a new customer. And if you add it all together, you see bit by bit, you get to that point. For us, it's about 10 months, and then we can start having some money of that customer. So, but it takes us 10 months. It's not that long. For many companies, it's longer than those 10 months, but you should try to keep it as low as possible. Cumulative cash flow. So if you do it with one customer, of course, you see some raising. If you do it with 5, it goes up. So the more you can scale, the more it gets better model in SaaS bookings. So as I said, the net MRR is really important. So you have your current base of customers, then every week or every day you're adding new customers, but you have to predict the churn rate. So you have of course the upsell. So we try to have the upsell about the amount of churn, and of course every day adding new customers in order to grow the business. The funnel. So here you see also the cost of acquisition and how you can divide it between marketing and sales. So first you have your marketing cost. How much does it cost in order to get this lead to your website? In the beginning, it was mainly Google AdWords for us, but I will go deeper in that in my presentation also. But mainly in the beginning, it was Google AdWords, buying Google AdWords, and getting people to landing pages, because we work a lot with landing pages. So we have landing pages on invoicing, on project management, on CRM. And if someone is looking for CRM, we will show him the right content. So that was what we were doing like in the beginning. Now we have a much broader scope of marketing. We work with white papers, with ebooks. We have also some Facebook campaigns, but not that much because it doesn't seem to be that effective. But we're doing a lot of events as well. We try to have speaking slots in order to get people to know Team Leader and have them on our website and try our tool for free. So this is the first step. You have to get those leads to your website. Second step is your sales acquisition cost. So how much does it cost from this lead to convert it to a sales? Which is really important as well is the quality of the marketing leads, because if they are not good, we go back to marketing and say those leads are bad. We want better leads because we just waste our time. And that's what we saw in Germany, for example, where we started like a few months ago. We started the Google Analytics and the Google AdWords. And what we saw, we get really, really bad leads because our content was not nicely aligned with what people were looking for. And then bit by bit, it got better because the words on which people are looking for, we get them better. And also the landing pages, we changed them completely in order to get a better conversion. And also the people who convert, that those people are the right people or the people who might be interested in Team Leader. And so if you added up the marketing acquisition cost and the sales acquisition cost, you get to the total cost of acquisition. And then, of course, you get new clients, hopefully. So new clients, then you have the upsell, which is important. So we start mostly quite small with the license, but throughout town, mostly it grows because they take more modules or the company is growing and they get more users in the company. But how is our sales organization structured? This is our model. It took us like almost 3 years to get to this, but this is how we're working today, and this is what we're trying to copy in the other countries. It's something which, like Jeroen, our CEO, did all himself. In the beginning, he was responsible for everything, and he did everything himself. So marketing generation of leads. So he did the Google AdWords, he made the landing pages in order to get those leads. Then, second phase, call to those leads, ask what they're looking for, and trying to have a meeting with those leads in order to be able to sell your product. Then you can hopefully close those leads and you can have a new customer. And afterwards, what's really important is the customer success. In order to keep your customer happy, there is an initial phase. So when someone gets customer from us, they get immediately an email from Sophie to say, welcome, team leader. If I can help you with imports, new templates, whatsoever, we help you for free. And that's something really important, because what we see, many people just buy it and then they just, okay, yeah, I'm still working on my old tool. And so we help this customer with kicking off team leader. And once they kicked off, mostly they're happy and they use the tool. But still, if they have questions, they can always call us, they can always email us, and we will get back to them as soon as possible. Also, outbound sales prospecting, we tried it. For us, it was not that successful, but for other companies, probably it can be. We do some events and stuff, but not outbound sales, so we don't call blind people. Everyone who we're calling has some interest in the product. So, but how did the organization get to this, and how to make this scalable? Because if one person does everything, it's not scalable at all, because then you need like 10 more people if you have 10 more leads or 10 times more leads. So what did Jeroen do? He started with hiring Lieven. And Lieven is a guy from marketing, and he was at that moment, or he's still responsible for the Google AdWords, for the landing pages, and now also for the white papers and so on. So his main focus is getting more leads. So every week we look how many leads that came from marketing, what was the budget which was needed for this, and what was the cost of marketing. So his main focus, or his only focus, is getting more leads for the less money as possible. So this was Lieven. He started a team leader. He's still working at team leader. He's doing a great job. But Jeroen was still doing all the rest himself. And then he thought, maybe I need to hire someone in order to do this inside sales, because he was on the roads every day. People were activating trials. He was not able to call them. He was calling them in the evening. People were not taking their phones anymore. It took weeks before they got an answer, and he lost them. So he thought, yeah, I really need someone here in the company who can do it very fast and in an effective way. So Jeroen hired Benny. Benny, still working as team leader. He's more on marketing now, but still his main focus in the beginning was inside sales. So someone comes on the website, downloads the trial or makes the trial, and then call this person, try to fix a meeting, and then Jeroen going there in order to get those new customers. So inside sales, and this position changed a lot over time, because in the beginning it was only calling to this person, and the main focus then was try to have as much meetings as possible. Because in the beginning it was, Benny, how many meetings do I have? How much leads? How many meetings? But this position changed a lot, because the inside sales get more and more important in the company, and this is also in order to make the company even more scalable. So Benny was the second person in team leader. Jeroen was still the best sales guy. And then we got like 300 customers at that time, and every salesperson in the company was like maintaining his own customers. But it was like a bit of annoying, because you were on the road, you had to help customers. Of course, we did it with a lot of enthusiasm, but the focus was away. So we hired someone, it was Susie, for the customer success, and then she was responsible for our existing customers. So we changed our phone number on the website, and people were able to call to our office, and there Susie was ready to help the customers. And also, if we had new customers, she helped them starting with team leader. So actually, at that moment, the company was mainly structured. We didn't have this nice thing yet, but actually at that moment, the company was only existing of 8 people at that time, but still the same structure is maintained today. The only thing we changed is we put more people on the different stages. So on marketing, today we have 3 people. Inside sales, there are 6. Sales, there are only 2 or 3 anymore. Customer success, there are 4. So you see, you have some focus within the company, or every person within the company has a focus. And if you need more people on that position, you just add more people, and you try to do it as most cost effective as possible, because what I said, like the inside sales are relatively cheap in comparison to the sales. So we tried to put more focus on inside sales and less on sales. So up until today, 60-70% of sales is done by an inside sales. So none of our employees went to the company. They just do it from Ghent with the virtual meeting, help those people with virtual meetings. If the customer is too big or it's too complex, of course there are still salespeople on the road in order to help those customers. But we try to do as much as possible with the inside sales. And what is also really nice with inside sales, if you have customers from Italy, Germany, whatever, you can help them. We have really good inside sales, so they know the product really good and they understand the businesses of our customers, which is of course really important in our company, that you can make the translation between the tool and the business of our customers, of our prospects. But so this is our organization, how we are structured, and now we will go a little bit deeper in the lead management, because throughout the journey you have leads, and the question is how to have an effective lead management and how we get our leads through this machine, you can say, and what we think is really important and what we think many companies sometimes forget to do. But for us, it's really important, and it has been important, and it's still one of the main focuses of the company. So, lead management. 3 main causes of bad lead management. There is no procedure at all. So what does it mean? Like Jeroen is there, but there are 5 Jeroens, you know? And those 5 people are 5 great people, but there is no structure at all. They do everything themselves. They try their best, but there is no structure. And what does happen? People get confused. And mainly, maybe a nice example of this one is like if you enter a coffee bar, and you get in there and you start sitting there and someone is taking order and he's doing everything at the same time. He's making coffee, he's going to that customer, he's always also doing the bills, everything at the same time, everything mixed. You will immediately feel, what is this? And if you look at Starbucks, for example, it's nicely structured. Every person has his own responsibility and they can work on a very effective way, and they can scale the business. So a procedure, really important. We have our procedure. Of course, you can, every company is different, so you have to try to find your own way. But we have really in our heads how those leads get to us, how they become a customer, and how to keep those customers happy. Bad registration, something, it's really, you think about, yeah, of course you register your leads, but a lot of companies don't do it. People come to the website, people leave their email address, their name, their phone number, and then it gets in some email box somewhere, and none of the employees of nobody cares about that lead. But this lead is very valuable because there's someone who came to you and who say, hello, I'm interested in your product, can you help me please? And if you then don't do anything, this person might be say, okay, maybe I go to another company because there is competition in the market. So first you have the people who come to you actively. Otherwise, if you go to events, you get those nice business cards, you know, and you all add them in your pocket, and then afterwards you just throw them on your desk, and then they stay there for 5 weeks, and then you say, okay, I don't know who this guy is anymore, and you just throw it away. It's very, we think this is really valuable, and you should do something with it. Of course, you can do, if you enter home, you can add them. We mostly do it immediately. So we always have our iPads, whatever, computers with us. We immediately sign up those people. So we have the information, and we also know from where we know that person, because after some time, the inside sales is calling to this person, and it would be like a pity if he had to say, I know you from that event. No. The salesperson or the inside salesperson will know that he came from that event, that he has seen this person or this person within the company, and they have discussed this or this. So we try to have all this information in the company because it's really important, because we work that structured and it's not the same person who is doing everything. So you have to transfer this information from one person to another, which is of course really important. Otherwise this customer will feel like, what the hell is this? No reporting. For us, reporting is really important. You shouldn't see it as like making reports a half a day. No, it's like 5 numbers we have. We have the sales meeting on Friday. Every one of the company is involved, and we show how much leads we had, how much new customers we have, what was the cost, how much is the ARPA. So there are some key figures which make the company think in growing, and we believe that's the way how you can grow. For us, we have those SaaS numbers. Of course, if you're another business, it will be other numbers, but having some key figures is important, or that's at least what we believe. Set up a lead procedure. What I said, it's really important to make this procedure. For us, we have like an 8-step plan. So first, someone is new. The second phase is trial. So mostly those first 2 stages are done in the same time. So first, free trial is immediately after someone is new. The second step is qualifying. So we just have a quick call. Hello, it's Niels or whatever from team leader. What are you looking for? Maybe team leader can help you. And sometimes there's a bad qualification. This person is looking for something completely different or has a business which cannot really use team leader. And then we say it honestly, yeah, maybe you should look at this software or this software because we think team leader will not be a great tool. Because if you keep that lead, you can of course do that, but it will cost you more and more money. And if you lose him at the end, it will have cost you a lot of money and you just throw it away. And also maybe you can even make it an existing client, but if he churns after 3 months again, you lost a lot of money. So the qualification, really important, first filter, and there most of our people who activated a free trial fall off. So only 30–40% stay after the qualification. So there's a big filter, and then the second phase, or the next phase, is like a meeting. We try to do it mostly virtually, so we have this meeting with the person. Then we have a phase on hold, so someone can say, I'm still thinking a bit, so we can put them on hold for a second. And then we have close, so we try to close this person, and then there is accepted. So close means I'm like 95% sure this customer will buy, accept will say he bought our product. So, but the main filter, or the biggest part where people leave in this procedure for us, is at the moment of qualification. So we try to qualify our leads as good as possible in order to not wasting more time on a lead which probably will never buy the tool. So really important, qualify your leads. For us, it's really key. It's really important to have qualifying these leads. There are many things important in this, but I will go more in depth on this qualification in a second. But there can be a question as well. When to take contact? So you have to do this qualification, which is really important, but when are you calling this person? Someone is making the trial, you get his phone number, you get his email address. Should we wait for 3 hours? Should we wait for the next day? Should we wait for 1 week because they have 2 weeks? We don't know. But we tried many things. We tried many things. And in the end, it was quite obviously, but still, we had to try before we knew, is we contact persons within 1 hour. So if someone's activating a trial, we try at least to contact this person within an hour. So because that person might be still on his computer or is still looking for other tools, and at that moment probably he has time. If he doesn't have time or he doesn't pick up his phone, we try the same but the day after. So we try to call him if he, for example, activated the free trial at 10 in the morning on Tuesday, and he's not picking his phone up like in the next hour, then we try day after at 10 o'clock, because people seem to have kind of the same agenda every day. So, and if it doesn't work the day after, we try the week after. So then we try again on Tuesday, 10 o'clock. So we try to do it as structured as possible. We try to not be like really aggressive, but we know that is really effective, because then people taking up their phones and having time to have this little conversation. So here our lead procedure, once more, new lead, getting into the company, getting qualified, really important, negotiation with the inside sales or the sales, but we prefer as much as possible with the inside sales. We're doing an offer. Many people of our company don't even make an offer really. They just say, prices are on the website, this is our price, and most of the people say, okay, it's good or it's not. Some people still asking for that quotation, but a lot of people are not anymore because there are no contracts. People pay for 3 months. If they're not happy with the product, they can just stop. So there are no signatures or whatsoever involved in the process. Register your leads. As I said, people coming in via the website, you get business cards, you have this data. This is explicit data. This data you know, but there's much more behind, which is implicit data. And what we think, or what we believe also, is you have to ask for at least, you don't have to ask for everything. Sometimes if you go to a website, they ask for everything. They ask if you're married, whatever, they ask for everything. But most of this information you can just find on the internet. It's so easy. We only ask for the name, the company, email address, and phone number. Anything more, because if you know the company, you will know how many people work there. If it's a big company or not, you will know in which sector it is, because you just can go to the website and it's all just open there. The function of the person, you can ask it, but you don't have to. You just go to LinkedIn and there is the function. So there is a lot of data in the internet, which is so easy to grab, so you don't have to ask your lead, because if you have like 10 fields to fill in, probably you will lose a lot of people, or you will lose people who say, yeah, this is too much work, I don't do it. And if you just ask for 4 things, say, okay, I just rapidly fill it in, and you have my data, and then you can add yourself more data. Still, what is also really important, and what we believe as well, is if you have this explicit data and implicit data, put it into a system. So not only you know this data, but also your colleagues. So those people don't have to do the same work over and over again. So try to have this data in one tool or one centralized database, and have this all data, and people can all enter the system, so they all know this and they can all work with this, and you can work in a most effective way, or in an effective way. Also register your outbound leads, as I said, with the business cards, really important. If you see people, register them. Also, if you do outbound calling, also put them into the system. You can say, I will email like 100 companies, I just send an email, but I will not add it into my database whatsoever. It's not important. If there's someone interested, I will hear it. But it's like a bit of annoying if someone comes to your website, downloads your trial, or fills in or activates your trial, and then someone is calling, and then he's asking, you find us on the website, and then he's, no, I saw an email from you. Yeah, maybe. But if you have all this data in your system, you will know he has got this email, or you will know this person called to him. So it's important to have this data in your system in order someone, or your lead or your customer, has always the feeling he's handling with the same company, and he's not handling with different people within that company. A good example there is also Coolblue. If you order something on the website, if you order something in the office, if you call them, they all know who you are, what you have ordered, and this is something really important, because it gives you a really good feeling, because you're working always with the same company and you feel relaxed. They care about you. So enrich your data, which is mainly the implicit data, but it can much more. Every email you send, every phone call you make, try to have it all centralized, so you have all this data. Also looking up some key figures of the company, because if we at the company and we see he's nearly bankrupt, we will say, yeah, maybe you should try another tool because ours is maybe not that good, whatever. But we know we should not make effort, because maybe next month he's bankrupt, and then we did a lot of effort for nothing. So we try to get in good customers which can pay who can afford the tool. It's not that expensive, but we look up some key figures and we try to manage this as good as possible. Learn, really important. this is the way we're working. It took us 3 years in order to find it and to know how it's working. Now we know it, and hopefully it also works in the other markets, but probably there will be issues, and there have been issues, and we have to adapt our system to the local market. But you have to learn always. You may not say, yeah, this is the right system. We have to work for this all time long. No, you have to try to learn and to make your system better. The switch we made from sales to inside sales, and also like in Germany where the AdWords and the landing pages were not working, all those changes you have to do in order to make your system even better and better. What you see as well is lead recycling. So until now, I always spoke like you get the lead, you call the lead, do the qualification. After the qualification, you get the inside sales, doing the virtual meeting, or the sales doing the real meeting, making this offer, making this clients. But a lot of people fall off. For us, it's like 1 person out of 10 who gets through the funnel. So if we have 10 marketing qualified leads, we have 1 new customer. 70%, or if we have 10, 7 of them, they leave at the moment of qualification, and then 1 of those 3 are buying the system after this phone call. So we have this funnel, so many people are leaving it. So if we have 1,000 people, 900 left at the end. But this 900 people, they might be interesting in future, because maybe today you have a certain module, not yet. Or you have this or this connection, not yet, which was really, really important for that company. And if you keep all this data, and you know why people left the funnel, then maybe on a certain point, when you have this new module, or when you have this new connection, or when maybe this company said, yeah, maybe I'm too small, and then you're seeing, okay, this company is growing, maybe we should recontact him, because maybe now he can use the tool now. So it's important to have all this data in the system. So at the moment, if we put a deal on Lost, we always put a reason, and the reasons are structured. So we have the reasons about the modules, we have reasons about how big the company is, we have reasons that it's never gonna be a fit, so then we put it on no fit, and then we never will contact him anymore because he will never be interested in the product. But on some stuff, like the integrations, the modules, the how big the company is, those things can change over time. And if there are changes, you should be able to get back to those leads, and because it's cheaper, because you have already done the marketing cost, so you only have to do the sales cost anymore. So if you know we have a kind of a chance in order to sell at a certain time, you should try to do it, and that's what we try as well. It's something we're not doing that much yet, but we're starting it up right now, because in the beginning you don't have that much people, and you didn't make that much new modules or new integrations, but we're starting doing this, and we're trying to do it also in a structured way, and we're trying to do it in the same structured way as we work today. Customer journey, something important as well. This is something we recognize from our customers. The last part not, because there is a pitfall, but you have a new lead coming into your company, and let's say he's neutral. He thinks team leader might be interesting, might be not, I don't know, he don't know. And what happens then? Then, after 1 hour, this person is calling to him. Hello, it's Benjamin, or Benny, or Niels, whatever, from Team Leader. I'm happy that you activated this trial. What are you doing? This is my business. That can be interesting for you. An hour or two, you can use this or this or this. And this person gets happy. Thinks, okay, they're understanding me. They know what I'm doing. This is a good thing. So, like your lead getting happy, and he gets up into the journey. Then there is a virtual meeting, and hopefully it gets even better. He gets even more happy with the product, and he sees, yeah, I'm really going for it, I believe in it, it looks really good. But then after, for example, after the trial, yeah, I thought this would be in the tool, it's not there, and maybe this should be different, I don't know. And he gets like a little bit, I don't know anymore. And then after 1 week, salesperson is calling again to him. How was the trial? Yeah, good, but this and this is not working as I thought it would work, and maybe this should be different. And then the salesperson saying, yeah, but if you do it this or this way, then it also works. And if you do it this or this way, this will work as well. And then maybe, or hopefully, the customer will say, okay, yeah, indeed, of course we can do it this way. And then he gets again happy, and at the end he gets really happy. He believes, yeah, this is the great tool, this is the tool I need. I will subscribe for this tool, and I will become a customer. But what happens then, a lot of times in a lot of companies, boom, they get those lead very happy until he buys, and then they just throw it away. He's a customer now, and the sales goes up to his next one, and he says, yeah, my job is done, forget about it. But we believe it's really important to keep this customer happy, and therefore we have the customer success team. This is a team of 4 people, so we only have, like in Belgium, a team of 7 people of sales, but we have 4 people on customer success. So this is meaning we're investing a lot of money in our customers, and we do it in 2 stages. First is like the initial stage. So the customer is buying the product, and then we send the email to welcome this person and say, hello, team leader, can I help you in order to do your imports, to make your templates, to configure a little bit the tool, and we do it for free. We will help you as much as we can. So first is the initial phase, which takes mostly quite some time, but still we want to do the effort, or we want to do the investment in order to keep this customer happy. And afterwards, every 3-4 months, this person is calling us for maybe this can be changed, or how is this working, or can I try this, or how should you do this. So we always have those people ready in order to help our customers. Also for new employees. So if someone new is entering in a company of our customers, they can go to our webinars, they're for free, and we actually train the employees of our customers in order they also can use the internal tool, which is Team Leader at that moment. So we really try to help them. Also, if people buying new modules, we also help them in order to have the most of it and have it, and they know how it works and how they can do it in an effective way. So what's more, I think this is the most important slide of my presentation. Cost of acquisition should be as low as possible, especially in our business. So cost of acquisition should be as low as possible, and the long-term value of your customer should be as high as possible, which is impacting the cost of acquisition. First, marketing, the marketing cost you have to do in order to get this lead. Secondly, the sales cost you have to make in order to get this customer into your company. Long-term value, 2 main factors: the monthly subscription or the value of the customer, which can be raised over time. And secondly, the churn rate, which should be as low as possible in order to keep this customer base and in order to keep on growing. So this is my last slide. I have one more slide. It's kind of cool. Last week we launched our startup program. So we were on Web Summit. We launched our startup program. Why we did it? Because we as a startup, we believe everyone should be able to use a tool as team leader, and startups in the beginning probably will say, yeah, maybe I should not pay this at the moment because I'm still bootstrapping, and that's why we're giving it 6 months for free, because we believe you should start with it as soon as possible in order to get everything in the system and not starting after a few months with it. So that's why we're giving it away for free for 6 months. It's mainly for tech companies, for grow companies. You can find all the like what you need to be in order to be a startup for our startup program on startups.teamleader.eu. Clarissa, really cool lady, she is responsible for the program. She will help you with a lot of enthusiasm. So that's something nice to say as well for the people who have startups or who know people working on startups. My email address is niels@teamly.eu. You can email me for whatever reason. I'm always happy to help you, and I hope you had or you learned something about this presentation. Thank you.